Alright, I think that does it. Do I have my chat open? Yes, I do. Please let me know if you can hear me in the chat so I can get this party started. Because, yeah, we got a lot to go over today. Specifically, basically I'm restarting the project and simplifying it a lot more. And, as soon as I see people in the chat tell me they can hear me, I'll switch over the scene and let you guys know what's going on. I'm so glad to have you guys here. Especially you, Stembolt. Oh, I haven't seen you in a while in one of my chats. Says I'm rolling. I mean, I just don't know. Oh, yep, I see someone begging to get this party started, which means they heard what I said. Possibly. So, yeah, let me switch over to my desktop and show off my pretty little Katawa Shoujo backdrop. Minimize that shit. And yeah, so I am so glad to be here with you guys today because, well, honestly, I was doing some stuff and I was researching and I realized that I was making my code completely fucking obese for no reason. Bloated, whatever the word you want to use is. It was just a terrible choice on my part. And I really, really want to avoid bloat as I develop this. I want it to be lightweight because the more bloated it is in the very beginning, the slower it's going to be once it's actually running. This is a constant problem I have with my code, especially when I'm stepping into worlds that I'm not extremely familiar with. For example, 3D programming. 3D programming is something that I've done very little of, to be completely honest. All the game development I've done has been 2D, and while I've experimented a lot with 3JS, and it's an extremely simple and easy to use platform, I know it is fat as fuck. It weighs about 600 kilobytes, and once the code is compiled and uglified and compressed, which that's a fucking metric fuck. That's just a lot. It's way too much considering we're only going to have, 10 or 20 kilobytes of code to start with. So instead of fattening up everything, we are going to start again, and we are going to start small and basic, and we're going to go through a few things to make sure that our project is as thin as possible. Now, in order to do this, we're going to have to go through the starter code, or rather the toolchain setup again, which is going to be pretty fucking painless. Again, I'm using yarn instead of NPM. I'm using ES6 instead of raw JavaScript because I like using the simplest, I like using the newest fucking, hotness that's available. Mike asks, what am I trying to program? Yeah, I'm trying to make a 3D Roll20 alternative because honestly, it would be very beneficial to the gaming community to have something that is simple, lightweight, and, well, honestly, takes advantage of the modern day instead of not even being able to manage vector art, which Roll20 is terrible with vectors. And vectors absolutely need to be taken advantage of. If you want to have a proper radius of, vision, if you want to have line of sight calculations, these very simple things that make life so much easier for a GM when using tools like this. I think it'll also benefit the tabletop gaming system hackers quite a lot, and allow them a greater breadth of functionality that they can experiment with, so that they can make more complex systems, things that maybe, can be made slightly more complex or in-depth through the benefit of having tools like this, but aren't necessary. For example, there's no good Warhammer 40k or War Machine tabletop system other than Tabletop Simulator, and even that doesn't really offer very much. So other than, you know, letting you move your tokens and use a ruler, I want to be able to actually have, you know, essentially what I want to do is take Neverwinter Nights and wrap it in a JavaScript application. I think that's a big part of what I'm doing here, which I find kind of funny looking at it that way. Although in the long run, this isn't going to be Neverwinter Nights. I'm not here to implement the systems yet. I'm here to implement the table, the dice rolling, and the character creation, and the character sheet tools, and let things evolve from that baseline. That being said, we're actually going to start by we're going to actually start by making a roadmap, because I would like to actually define the features that I want and be able to, you know, work through those as we're slowly developing this. Now, a roadmap file doesn't have any standard formatting, so I'm just going to be going through this very quickly. The three major features are the tabletop, the dice roller, and the character sheet editor. And these are pretty complex. Actually, that's not all of it. There's also the netcode. And essentially, I mean, and I'm going to be expanding and evolving this roadmap as time goes on, but I just want us to do this simply while we have the time. Tabletop, 3D... 3D rendering of table and grid. 3D model importing from object files, 3ds files, blend files. God, there's actually an entire list of things I want to support, but there was one other, I believe it's, yeah, MMS for Maya, or MMT? Whatever it is, the Maya formats. And basically allow very basic models to be imported for the sake of building your town. Placing 3D models on grid. Associating a model with a player or character sheets. Stop trying to autocomplete that shit. Alright, sorry. And yeah, this is just very, very loose. A dice roller. Wait, dice roller and chats. Text chats. Fuck you, game. Or editor. A little bit overzealous in the auto-completion there, and it seems completely unnecessary. Well, the thing is, I'm not gonna have it in metric, or I'm not gonna have it dependent in metric or imperial units. It's going to be entirely in units, and what a unit equates to can be defined as whatever. But the dice roller needs to have /roll supports, macros, and interactivity with character sheets, and models if needs be. The character sheet editor needs to have macro support and simple. Well, I don't know how I'm going to do the character sheet editor yet, and the netcode is going to be peer-to-peer. But right now, we are literally just working on the front end. We're not going to be building all of the extensive back-end stuff. We're not going to be building all the awesome stuff. We're just going to be getting something going. And the reason I put these little braces with a space in the middle is I can just highlight over them and stick an X in them and mark them as done. And GitLab and GitHub will report those. Will show a little checkbox with a check in it once it's saved. So, save, escape. And yeah, now let us get our basic shit up and running. We need yarn, add. We are going to be installing Mithril 3. Now, wait, 3 moved, so I need to figure out where that is. 3JS on NPM. Because I know they changed its location. And I would like to know where they fucking put it, because I keep getting that. I keep getting an error. Holy shit, I have way too much fucking open right now. And half of them are goddamn search pages. Go back. Documentation. Fine. 3JS NPM moved. Moving to an arc. I know there's a 3JS that they've changed the name. Fuck it. Here. Let's do it this way. Yarn add 3. Oh, wait, yarn init first, and just Y, because I'll change the other shit later. Yarn add dev? I don't think yeah. 3JS through NPM. All this information is fucking old. Nope, that's not it. Because I know that they've, changed this up a bit, and I just want to figure out how they changed it up. Module.js, that's what I'm looking for. God, that's like years old. I don't want that info. I want more recent info, damn it. Yeah, Ottakeen, I very much agree with that. I definitely want things to be defined by the users. Honestly, I want to... the more I think about it, the more I think I want to just crowdsource the actual, SRD and system implementation of stuff. I want this more to be based around the idea that a system designer and a system hacker can sit down and use this to create an entire role-playing, tabletop role-playing game, online tabletop role-playing game of their own with as little effort as possible, mostly by learning the macro system, and possibly HTML. Because the way I look at it, I'm going to need them to know HTML so I can parse the HTML in order to make character sheets. If not pure HTML, a modified HTML, which is why I'm going to be using Mithril.js. God, I know... Here, watch. If I add Mithril add 3, it's going to go through and give me a whole bunch of dependencies. It's going to dig up all its dependencies and suddenly not bitch about it. Okay, whatever. Fine then. Yarn add Mithril. Now, Mithril is part of the JavaScript Foundation's attempt to create a completely open and usable web component system, or custom. So basically, I can create custom tags, custom objects, and again, I need to yarn add webpack. Somewhere around here, I've got a couple files. Yeah, it's gonna bitch about FS offense. But as I was saying, if I use Mithril, I can literally create components that developers can use, or system designers can use, to basically make a JavaScript-powered XML document without having to write any JavaScript of their own. And allows me as well to directly interpret not only my own custom components, but components developed by other people for the system. I keep bumping this fucking mic every time. Why does it want me to use preset at 2015? Fuck that noise. And then, so you could essentially have, here, let me do an example. Control new, no, escape, Control Shift new? No, that's not what I wanted. Alt, file, new file, there we go. Essentially, you could do something like character, attributes, body 5, mind 5, soul 5. And if you know the Tristat or Besom system, you might recognize where I'm getting these attributes. And you could basically, you know, or, well, okay, so it would be more along the lines of body stats, mind stats, soul stats, and from this you could generate a very simple character sheet that could be directly interacted with the system. And I was talking to you, I think I talked to you about this in your Discord server, Michael. I want to create an alternative to Roll20 that is not, it's based more around the idea of creating and playing games than you know, hosting video chat and hosting forums for an LFG and all this useless stuff that Roll20 does that I think gets them into trouble more than they need to be getting in trouble. But yeah, that's... don't save. Let's see, what am I doing? Oh, right, I have some dependencies to install still. Yarn add dev, Babel core, Babel loader, Babel plugin, transform. Do I need to install this plugin for it? Yes, okay. React JSX, which does not require me to actually install React, thankfully. God blessed fuck, go away, stop it. Okay. I'm just installing all of the things that I was using before, plus or minus some stuff. Babel preset, and Babel presets. I don't really need any extra stages, so... oh, shit. Yarn, remove, webpack. Will that work? I hope that works, because... Let's pop open the package.json just to see what it's done. Yes, okay. Mithril and 3 are the live dependencies, but yarn, add, dev, Babel core, Babel loader, Babel plugin, transform, react, JSX, Babel preset env, Babel, oh no, Webpack, dev server, Webpack merge, Webpack, oh, clean Webpack plugin, CSS hot loader, CSS loader, ESLint loader. I don't need that. Yeah, I do need that. File loader, HTML loader, HTML Webpack plugin, Node Sass loader, style loader, Uglify.js Webpack plugin, and I think that's all I need. Now that's gonna run for a while, so by the way, you're not the only one with a bad memory. I think it's only because I've been exercising my memory a lot more, so that's been helping a lot. But while this takes for fuck ever to install, I'm gonna take some time and talk more about just what I want to accomplish here. I do want an open source alternative to Roll20 because I think it's crappy, but I also want a 3D alternative to Roll20 to provide a very simple, it doesn't even have to be animated per se, but allow people to move objects around, but a 3D environment in which people can play tabletop role-playing games and tabletop war games. Like, I want people to be able to play Pathfinder, 3.5, 5e. I want people to be able to play Warhammer 40k and War Machines and Warhammer and Warhammer 40k and War Machines. I want an environment where this is utterly painless to do. And I want to do it as a web application using Three.js, as well as Peer.js or another peer-to-peer networking system, so that a person can set up their own server to have their own peer management and run the game off their computer, or, you know, come to me and say, hey, can I pay you $5 a month to host all of this shit for me so that I don't have to do anything. Yes, there is monetization in mind, but that's because there are people who are already interested in investing in something like this if I'm able to produce something of value. And I really do think I can produce something of value and learn a lot in the process. This is one of the reasons that I'm purely using Roll20 right now, is to see just how much shit there is in Roll20. And oh god, there is a lot of shit in Roll20. Now, something Arkeem brings up in the chat just now, it sounds like it could be used to simulate a game before coding it. I don't think it'll be able to go that far, and I don't intend it to be able to be used like that. I intend this more to be, I mean, at most this is going to be able to handle math and create basic calculations and handle 3D models. What it's not going to be able to do is actually run logic. It's not going to be able to handle logic for you. It's not going to be able to handle artificial intelligence for you. It's not going to roll dice for you. You're going to have to do all that stuff yourself still, because this is about providing that tabletop environment and just the simplest tools necessary to make the GM's life that much easier without making the GM's life harder in the process. One thing I'm hoping to do, one thing I do hope to accomplish is actually have, I brought up crowdsourcing before. I want to crowdsource maps of the entire Forgotten Realms, models of everything. I want this to be a community-driven project more than anything else, in being able to just get up and get going without, you know, any trouble. Now, when I say providing the maps, I don't mean scanning the maps that you buy from Wizards of the Coast and sticking those in manually. No, I actually... that could get me in trouble. What I want, more preferably, is to see people, you know, go into Maya and Bryce and Blender and actually, you know, shape up maps, you know, based on the existing maps. Draw these maps themselves. A map of Waterdeep and surrounding area, a map of Neverwinter and the surrounding area, a map of Daggerford and the surrounding area, considering these areas are involved in two of the games that the game I'm GMing on Fridays and the game I'm playing on Sundays. And, you know, basically make them their own, so that this can just be directly imported and say, look, I want to load up South Waterdeep, West Waterdeep, East Waterdeep, North Waterdeep, Red Larch, Neverwinter, the Undermountain, and have these preset designs, but also allow people to, you know, import their own separately. Yeah, but Arakeen, there's a big difference between simulating an idea and actually developing a game. These are two extremely different things, and the most you're going to be able to get out of the simulation is the math, right? The math of interactions, and that is actually very little in comparison to the amount of programming that has to be done for an actual game, as you're gonna end up seeing as I go through this work. Well, I've got my my things set up, so let us come back over here and make some changes right quick. GPL 3.0. I always start on 0.0.1. We've got a whole bunch of fucking tools here, of course. God, fucking microphone. Move forward a bit. Thank you. Get out of the range of me smacking you. And now from here, we are going to start. We need to make a... Jesus Christ, my hands are dumb today. We need to touch webpack dot... What? Webpack... now I need a... I guess I need a common webpack file. So we're going to start with webpack.common.js, and we're going to edit that over here. Const. Okay, now it's in my way again. So I'm going to put it right in my face for clarity of volume. Const resolve equals require path. Const webpack equals require webpack. Const HTML webpack plugin equals require HTML webpack plugin. Alright, that's going to give us the basics. Now we need to module.exports equals an array of objects. Context is going to be resolve dir name source. The entry point is going to be well, we're going to start with just one, and that's going to be index.js, which is in the source directory. And when we get to styling, I'll add the SCSS importer. Output is going to need path resolve dir name, dist. Don't need a trailing slash there. File name is going to be name, odd. Hold on. I'm using a what's called the Mithril starter kit, and I'm bothered by the fact that it says square bracket name square bracket dash bundle, and I'm not sure that Webpack automatically Webpack 3 name. Let's see if that you know what? I'm just not even gonna worry about that and replace name with CritFailure bundle.js. And we don't need a chunker just yet, so next up is our rules module. Rules. Tests. \.html $. And I explained how these worked before. Loader. HTML loader. The regex basically searches for a file name and then associates it with a loader. Options. Interpolate true. Oh, wait. Yeah, so now that should not have done that. Tests. HTML. No, hold on. Wait. Don't need the fonts, don't need the images, because we're not there yet. I do need the JS. The loader is going to be Babel loader. And the options are going to be... There was something that I'm pretty sure I deleted. I believe it's compress false. Let's see. Babel compress false. Oh, compact. Exceeds the max. Yeah, there it is. Compact false. And now back to the thing I'm using to make this work out. Huh. This has got a lot of weird little things. But this is all just basic setup stuff, and I don't need everything right off the bat, which means I can just ignore that for now. And we're going to create a dev file. Just making sure everything's lined up. Yep, alright. Now, touch webpack.dev.js. Const merge equals require webpack merge. Bastard. I apologize for the race cars in the background. Some people have small dicks and large cars. Common equals require common dot webpack dot common dot js. Const webpack equals require webpack, and const not using extract text, so module.exports equals merge common and oh shit, you know what I fucked up? I did not semicolon here or put a line line end there. Dev tool equals inline source map. Dev server equals hot true content base dist port. I don't need to set that. I only need the content base, really. Alright. Module. Off-topic question. RWBY. I thought this wallpaper was something from, Kato Shoujo. Because I haven't seen RWBY yet. Module rules. Tests either CSS or SCSS. Loader. Oh. Use. Weird. Odd. Okay, this is a little... You know what? I'm making this far more complex than it needs to be. Let's back up a bit. Remove webpack. Oh, right. No, I know why I need it to be that complex. Because in order for Webpack to hot load my changes, I do need a lot of this shit. So Kato Shoujo is actually a visual novel that 4chan commissioned through itself, which is based around well, crippled girls, and it's very sweet. It's very adorable. I actually enjoy it quite a lot. I enjoy the story behind it more, but that's just kind of who I am. Alright, so we've got that one. I should not have closed that because I just lost all the work I've done. Okay, you know what? We are just going to cheat a little bit for the moment, and I'm gonna do some copy pasta. Copy webpack.common.js, delete, oh, control V, shift V, no, shift V, shift GG, no, shift G equals, there, fix all my indentation. And we're going to remove things that I don't need from it for the time being. What am I missing? I know I'm missing some dependencies to make this work. I might just be missing one dependency. Alright, so we're gonna save that, pop open dev, and steal this from here, just so we can, you know, get the fucking ball rolling. Shift V, GG equals, fix all my indentation, and, oh, that's what I'm missing. Yarn add dev extract text webpack plugin. That was the one I was missing. So essentially, I'm just going to use the tools that Mithril suggests for using Webpack in development and production. Clean, extract text, Webpack, yeah. That way we don't have to spend, well, I've already spent 40 minutes doing this anyways, so I guess it doesn't fucking matter, does it? But we can get straight back into the development of this shit. And don't worry, we're probably going to be here for a good 3-4 hours total today again. So, I mean, you've got a long time to listen to me just rambling as I, you know, hack this shit back together for you. Let's see. By the way, thank you to everyone who's in the audience watching. It always surprises me that people would want to watch me programming. That people are hopping in and out, enjoying me doing a show. Of me just fucking around, studying, speaking aloud as I work. Where was I? Where was the page I was on? There I was, okay. As soon as this finishes, I'm going to be doing the same thing for the production environment, and in the meanwhile, I can actually edit my package.json. Scripts. Comma. We are going to be adding in just some basic functionality. Start, which is going to run the dev server, webpack dev server, open config webpack.dev.js, and this will allow us to truly be live programming. Start build is going to be webpack progress config webpack.prod.js and lint. I'm just gonna go with slint. Slint source webpack.star.js and cache. And that gives me some... What? Oh, shit, damn it. Why did I do that? Compare, close, close, close. Don't save. And now rewrite all that shit because I'm an idiot. Oh, God, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. Scripts. This is what? Build, dev. Open config webpack.dev.js and prod build webpack progress config webpack.prod.js. I don't really need the linter offhand right now. Actually, you know what? The linter will be handy. Lint ESLint source cache. Save. I think this actually does have to be start. Yes, it does. Okay, so start allows me to save 4 letters when writing. Copy. Touch. webpack.prod.js. Insert, Control V, Shift V, GG equals, and that compresses all of that. So now, logically, I should be able to type yarn start And it should throw a fit because it has no files. Wait. Configuration file found, but no entry configured. Common.js. Entry indexed. Oh, right. No, that file doesn't exist. Duh. Make.dir source touch source index.js. And now, if I yarn start, what is your problem? You're importing common, you're merging common. Okay, you know what you know what? I think I need one more damn thing. Where is the... Oh, God, that's retarded. Okay, so make.dir source styles touch source styles scss.js. This allows me to directly import it. And it is literally require app./CritFailure.scss. Literally nothing else but this. And I can add other vendor SCSS here. You know, like if I wanted to, I could require font awesome SCSS font awesome.scss, and that would allow me to actually include the font awesome glyphs and widgets pack, but I don't need that right now, so we're gonna comment that out. And yeah, now I can fix my webpack.common by including the that file, I believe. Entry styles at scss.js, comma, save, yarn starts. Configuration file found, but no entry configured. Why? Let's go find out. Webpack dev server configuration file found, but no entry configured means that okay, let's go look at webpack.dev.js. Yeah, that's correct. Maybe it's your fault. Let's try and change you to source index.js. Again, bullshit. It's importing and merging it here. So we have the we have our entry points. Oh. Wait, yeah, it has a context of source. Does the context need to be set differently? Well, in which case, let's just get the hell rid of this for now. Source styles source index.js, because those seem to be the only Actually, you know what? I can undo those for now. Those seem to be the only things that are interfering. Again, configuration file found, but no entry configured. The entry's right the fuck here, my friends. Okay, very, very, very irritating. Oh, you know what? CritFailure. Okay, again, it is being a little fucker. Let's undo some things I've done. Fix this because I see that that's a problem. Yeah, module.exports equals this. And... oh, what's this? What's your problem? Control-Shift-M. No problems have been detected so far. And yet, I've got a little red dot. No. Oh, that's because I clicked it. Okay. Why is webpack.dev.js throwing such a fit? I mean, I copied this directly from your shit there, my friends. So, how about you tell me what your problem is so I can fix it. Configuration file found, but no entry configured. But there is an entry configured. Save. There we go. Diddler name is not configured. Okay. Diddler. I'm an idiot. Dir name. Save. There we go. HTML Webpack plugin. Can't resolve index.html. That's fine. Bunch of fucking errors. No worries. Touch source index.html. And of course, the index.html is just going to be something super fucking basic. Doc type HTML head lang equals n. No. HTML, oh, yeah, HTML lang equals n. Head, meta char set equals UTF-8. Meta name equals viewport. Content equals, can't remember this offhand. Well, let's just click view source right click on something. There we go. Meta name equals viewport. Content equals width equals device width. User scalable equals no. Minimum scale equals 1.0. Maximum scale equals 1.0. Title, CritFailure. Style, no, link, ref equals. Oh, right, no, we don't even need to link that. But we don't have a favicon either, so I'll wait on that. Body, div ID equals root, and put in a space here because this is where the application will be injected. I can start you up again. And now it throws another error. No ESLint configuration found. Okay. That's another thing that's easy enough to solve. Failed to compile. Odd. It looks like it compiled, it just did not lint it. Okay, that's why. So, we go up to the root of the file. I'm gonna kill you again for a second, and touch eslintrc.js. And of course, I'm still just, you know, module.exports equals env browser true, CommonJS true, ES6 true, node true. Globals. M. Oh shit, I'm an idiot. Oh, no, I'm not. True. Extends ESLint recommended parser options. Most of this shit is pointless. I guess not really. Source type module ECMA version 6 ECMA features experimental object rest spread true. And rules, comma, dangle, error, always, multiline? These will probably irritate me at some point. Indent, error 2, because I used 2 spaces, not 4, for my indentation. Line break style. That one I don't need. Quotes. Error. Single. Semi, which is for semicolons. Error. Always. I highly doubt that I'm actually going to need server space at all for that kind of stuff, Michael. Other than stuff that I'm hosting directly for the community, it should be able... I want to design this so that when you add something on your end, other people just directly download it from you, which might slow down load time initially when you open up the application, but it'll also create a large separation of dependency. I don't want to have central control over everything. So I don't think storage space is going to be a thing at all with this. No unused vars warn. Rest spread spacing. Oh, no, that's not useful. And in fact, I think what we're going to do is set that to warn and set that to warn. You know what? That's actually retarded. The trail, because that's the trailing comma, and I find that remarkably irritating. All right, yarn starts. Decentralization is absolutely my jam. What's your problem this time? Oh, I see what I did wrong. That is supposed to be a colon. And what now? Couldn't find preset ES 2015. From where? This was in common.js. I am not using you. I am using env and env alone. Going through and just fixing shit. Can't resolve CritFailure.scss, that's fine. Because then I can just go in here, new folder, I believe it's SCSS. Source, styles. Oh, no, it doesn't, it just has to be, delete that folder. New file, app.scss. Or wait, no. CritFailure.scss. And that fixes it. Alright, so it can be stressful, but you know, you get used to it after a while. You get used to the fucking rigmarole. HTML, body, root, position, relative, margin 0, width 100%, height 100%, body, root, font family, let's go with Helvetica new, and fall back to Helvetica, Arial, and sans serif. Font size 16 pix, line height 1.4, which is approximately 1.33, color 333, so it's not black, it's a very dark gray, but not black. Background color, we go with straight white, even though I'm going to be using other background colors later. Overflow X hidden. I think it just needs to be overflow. Well, I guess not right now. Overflow X hidden is fine for now. I save it. It gets recompiled. And then I hop over to, well, I guess, let's make sure that this compiles completely now. Now that I've spent an hour just getting set up. Everything compiled successfully. And as far as that goes, that means nothing is showing up. Which is what it should be, because we are going to move on to get a basic setup going. Now here's the reason that I backed out and changed everything up. We are going to be doing much lighter code using Mithril. Mithril is very simple. It makes React look like an obese, an obese child on the racetrack, and well, we definitely need to have everything we're doing. having everything we're doing operate as light as possible. As for Michael, you asked, since this is going to be open source, essentially one can code in any of the previous game types you mentioned, and those can be used by everyone else. That's my intention, if I understand your question correctly. I mean, this code is going to be open source, and if someone wants to run the code themselves, I will have no issue with that. If they want me to run the code, they're going to have to pay me to do that. Is essentially the idea I'm working from as far as that goes. But if you want to run it yourself, you can run it off your home computer. You wouldn't even need a server because you'd be operating, because the netcode is going to operate using peer-to-peer logic. Can you give me a tutorial? Ow, I keep hitting the microphone, and I bet that really doesn't sound nice in you guys' ears. I'm sorry. Here we go. Mithril ES6 components. Alright, so we need to start laying out some object code. Let's close some of this extra stuff for now until we need to fix it. I don't need index.html. I don't need uopen. I don't need uopen. I don't need uopen. I don't need uopen. Save. Don't need uopen. I will need uopen, and I don't know why you're not saved. Now, we've got our source directory. And in our source directory, we are going to set up some alright, so, new folder, components, new file, components.js. Now this is going to be our baseline components. Export default components. Constructor props. This dot props equals props or no, or damn it, this keyboard's weird. So one of the weirdest things about this keyboard is that I get okay, cable not long enough to show you, but my backslash key is in a weird spot. It's next to my, it's a row lower, and offset from where I'm used to having my backslash key. So whenever I use it, I'm constantly accidentally hitting the quotes key, which is bothersome to say the least. Equals function. Oh, wait. Huh. Hold on. ES6 lexical this. Arrow functions and lexical this. Arrows do not lexically bind this. Oh, yes. Okay, right. No, that's exactly what it's supposed to do. Okay, so I don't need this line. And this can be, should be equals that's what I thought it was. I just had to double check. This dot init control return control. and this.controller.original equals this.init. Now, init control does nothing because we overwrite that, and instance var controller equals new this.controller. Controller.render equals return component this.view controller return controller. Alright, so logically that should work. Debugging with inspector protocol, that's fine. Problems. Where? Oh, don't be like that. Don't be like that. There is no semicolon expected. Because this should be... Yeah, JavaScript React Babel. Why is it bitching about that? How is it misunderstanding... How is it misunderstanding JavaScript that badly? That is retarded. Huh. Bizarre. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm basically making a wrapper to encapsulate the behavior of a Mithril component. Mithril components are extremely simple, and essentially all they have to do is provide, in the very minimum, a view function. Of course, they can also provide other things like they can provide lists, load lists, they can load a number of different things. They can provide routing. So let us start by assuring that we have God, it's so irritating that it's bitching about this. JS semicolon expected. No, it's not. Just JavaScript Babel. Thank you. Could not find runtime node on path. Really? Open launch.json. Okay. Oh, I see what it's doing. Name launch program, program equals... No, go away, I don't need you. Delete. There. However, it is completely wrong about its current fucking errors. Control-Shift-M. Yeah, that should not be throwing an error because we are in... Oh, wait, I'm an idiot. I know why. I know what I did wrong. Export default class components. I'm glad it bugged me for that long, because otherwise I would have completely overlooked that one missing word, as I often do. Let's see. Now, okay, so now this basically is going to serve the purpose of providing the component wrapper. Now, I'm not positive it's going to work perfectly, however, it absolutely should, because it's supposed to take the this from above the, you know, from the context in which it was taken. Because this, in the context of where it is the this of the components, that should be fine. This is also going to be completely... this is also very abstract for the purpose of assuring that we have a raw. Now what we're going to do is create a another new folder that is going to be view... Wait. I don't really need a new folder for it, do I? New file, application.js, import component from components, class application extends components, init control var props equals this dot props control dot counter. I don't really need okay, I don't really need to set anything yet. Unfortunately, Mithril is a little more awkward than I'm used to. There is... okay, simple application. Component is simply one that... and of course, I'm just learning as I go in a lot of cases here. So... oh, right. That's... okay, so... so, let's go back up here, check out the ES6 standards, and... how can I import M? Examples... Mithril import ES6. I mean, I should be able to import M from Mithril, right? Because right now it seems like it wants me to require, to import a file. To require a file instead of use ES6 imports. However, it should work. God damn it, Mithril. Views, landing page. Yeah, it's got that set as global. Honestly, I've been wanting to do a video covering Pizzagate, Vladero. That is something that has been on my mind for a couple weeks now, especially after the Face the Nation video, or interview, that Tony Podesta gave. I mean, that just disgusted me to my core, and it brought back all of the Pizzagate shit that I've studied, that I've researched into, and I would absolutely love to do a Pizzagate video. But, I mean, that's going to be one of those videos that I put a lot more in, invest a lot more into. Okay, what's it saying? M equals require Mithril, but I would rather import Mithril directly using Mithril Import M from Mithril. Yeah, does no one use... Okay, apparently I can just use... Import M from Mithril. That should work. However, it's not being imported by anything else, so... You there. Import... Oh, right, you're not exporting anything. Application.js. Export default class application extends components. Import application from components application. Now, does that compile? Compiled with warnings. Never used. Control, okay, yeah. I'm gonna get warnings a lot from my ESLintRC because no one used VARs. And, of course, none of it's ever used. So, application. Now, I'm just trying to determine how exactly I'm going to use this. So, yeah, we can just set that for now. Oh, right, CTRL is my controller. So, let's come down here, view, control. Return M div. Let us make a very, very basic thing. M canvas. Wait. Wait a minute. Mithril and 3JS. Okay, awesome. So, let's see. See, I do love C, and that's one of the reasons, but at the same time, I'm always looking at the bleeding edge of programming as well. So... No, that's Zool. And yeah, I can see why it would make people cry. I really, really can. Has no one used Mithril for 3JS? Weird. Am I literally wasting my time trying to accomplish this? Am I stupid? There's a strong chance I'm stupid, that I've wasted all of y'all's time and my own. Okay, so, how do I include a... Oh, interesting. No, how do I send it a very basic... How do I tell it to render something that someone else has rendered? Is the question. Return M div vnode state data. No. Mithril is very young, so there's a very strong chance that I'm doing something wrong. And I am trying to figure it out. Seriously, how is Mithril and not... I mean, they're Mithril JS and 3JS. Examples, starter kits. Close enough. Source, TS. What's that from? Components app. Components app. Start, resize on create view. Oh, interesting. Okay, so... So, what then? Lib? No, wait, game? No, lib? Where is 3 included at all? Okay, there's 3. Where does it assign the... Oh, okay, I see how I'm supposed to do it. I see what I'm doing now. I have to play around with how 3JS actually gets loaded. And I'm actually doing this wrong because this should actually have its own canvas. Or rather, its own object. Let's see. Okay, I'm starting to get what I'm doing. Okay, so... my apologies that I'm just kind of sitting here rambling and being a shitty programmer. But, what we're doing here, now that we've created our component wrapper, which handles initialization, although this could probably be moved up into here. Oh, no, I see what it is. We're replacing the constructor with init in order to have in order to define our own controller. By doing so, in doing so, we basically create an empty object which we can attach controller functions to, which we can call from inside the component itself. Which is pretty fucking neat, if I do say so. Ow, my knee, ow, my knee, ow, my knee. Now, in order to describe this better, let me actually get it to do something. Let me get it to actually draw out the screen. So in our application, and I'm going to have to break all these things out into their own files eventually, but import through star as 3 from 3. Is that what we're doing? Tree shaking 3JS. Kind of a pain, kind of a pain. Alright, so actually what we're going to do is create another file to handle that for us. Oh, Christ. I am just making a mess today, aren't I? I'm so glad you guys are enjoying it because I am clearly not doing anything right now. Or well, I'm certainly doing things right because shit is compiling and working. However, what it's not doing is anything. It's not actually functioning. I started researching this. I thought I had a grip on what I wanted to do, but I was mistaken. So what we're going to have to do is, in source, we're going to create a new file called 3.custom.js, and in it we are going to export WebGL renderer from node modules 3 source renderers WebGL renderer.js, export scene from node modules 3 source scenes scene.js, export. Now what I'm doing here is I'm basically extracting only the parts of 3JS that I need in the immediate, which is very simple shit. Import scene, import mesh from node modules 3 source objects mesh.js, export star from node modules 3 source geometries.js, export star from node modules 3 source materials.js, export texture loader from node modules 3 source loaders texture loader.js. Basically, what I'm doing is setting things up so that I don't actually import all the heavy shit that JavaScript will load even if I'm not using it. Texture loader, loading manager from node modules 3 source. I believe this is under loaders as well. Loaders, loading manager.js, export font loader from node modules 3 source loaders font loader.js, export cache export perspective camera from node modules 3 source cameras perspective camera.js export buffer geometry from node modules 3 source core buffer geometry.js export star from node modules 3 source core buffer attribute.js export math from node modules 3 source math.js export vector2 from node modules 3 source math vector2.js export vector3 export color from node modules 3 source math color.js and finally export star from node modules 3 source constants.js. Now I save that, come back over here and import WebGL renderer scene perspective camera from .3.custom.js. And this gives us our very basics to set up what we had before, give or take. I don't... Yes, because we imported all the geometries and all the materials. However, we can import our geometries and materials individually in specific files. I honestly... Tell you what, guys. I think I need to spend some more time researching on this. I think I need to spend some more time fucking around with it on my own. Because, good lord... I'm only proving to myself that I don't know nearly as much as I think I do. And I'm not embarrassed to admit that. I mean, honestly, most of programming is not knowing what you're doing and figuring it out as you go. That said, I'm going to keep on trucking through. I'm not just going to give up and end the stream. I am going to take a minute. I'm going to step outside, have a cigarette, and when I come back, I am going to start setting up an actual gridded ground. And, I mean, I wish I had done this in the first hour rather than the third, you know, toward the end of the second hour. But I will be right back, and we will get to making ground and a little bit of HTML user interface over the top of it. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I will return in just a moment. Mwah. Sorry about that. And yeah, I know. Honestly, I think I'm being too complex. And I'm just gonna scrap what I've done here, even though I spent an hour and a half on it, because I can rebuild it pretty fucking painlessly. And delete all that, and instead go for something a lot more simple, a lot more prototypey, a lot less structured, because we don't need the structure yet. We can refactor into the structure. We're going to get rid of CritFailure, remake the directory, remake our tools, and read the chat while we're doing so, because I can do so in the... Yes, you're empty. Good. Yarn init. Yes, 0.0.0.1. I'm moving too quickly. Alright, so we have our JSON file. We need a source directory. And we need a few libraries to go with everything. Yarn, add 3. We just need some basics right now. We don't need anything special. We just need our we just need our JavaScript transpiler. Yarn, add dev babel core babel loader. Fuck it, you know what? I don't even want to use... I guess I need to use Webpack if I want this to work the way I do. So we are going to go as simple as possible. Babel core, babel loader, babel preset env. Not even going to use the JSX. We're not even going to use the React or Mithril, because honestly, Mithril needs fucking help. We are just going to sketch this out in pure fucking pretty JavaScript. Let's see. Yeah, Babel core, but we don't even need... Yeah, because I'm not even going to use the build tools yet. Babel core... Babel preset and... Do I need anything else from Babel? I guess I need Babel CLI? Oh, if that's the case, I might as well load Babel loader. Because... Okay, so here... So, we're still working on the same basic idea, right? And, in fact, I can probably sketch this out in a pretty hacky manner that I'll have to clean up later. But I mean, cleaning up your code is part of coding, and I'm glad it's fun to watch. Thank you for saying so. Yeah, you know what? Babel core, Babel loader, Babel preset, and Webpack, dev server. We don't need a lot right now. All we need is the very fucking basics. Speaking of the very fucking basics, I did miss a couple things there. We'll add these for now, and then we'll add some of the other ones. Every time I look over at this screen, I'm looking at references and API documentation. Okay, so... So what we are doing right now is just installing dependencies, and I need a drink. I notice when I'm thirsty, I start talking faster, as if I'm trying to talk past the thirstiness that I feel. And honestly, I think that's the last of the Coke. It is the last of the Coke I have, so... yeah. A whole bunch of dependencies are installed. So now I can code webpack.common.js. I do read the chat. J-Will. I've been reading the chat. I've just, I mean, it's in, I keep it in a place, so... I keep the chat in a place where I can't not see it, so whenever someone says something, I notice it changes. It's right in the corner of my eye, right there. Like, if my mouse is right here, it is literally right to the left of my mouse. I don't want to use all this extra bullshit that I don't need right off the bat, but at the same time, I want to be able to show off the development page, which means I do need some fucking... I do need a bit of a complex webpack thinger. Of course, this one is just irritating and painful. But we can use it. I don't want to use the public directory like that because it's just stupid. Okay, now I see what I need to do. Oh, no worries. I'm so glad you're here, Aki. I love it when you're here. I love when all of you are here, honestly. I'm so glad to... let me read off some names just to say thank you, because you guys are great. J. Will Series, Arakeen, Aki, Michael, Kaho, Vladiro, Curated Opinions. You all are just amazing. Putting up with me fucking around while I'm programming, starting from scratch, 2 hours into the thing, after a different 3-hour programming session. You guys are just the best. Oh crap, I need to go to the bathroom. I'm sorry. I will be right back. I have to go to the bathroom, and that is the worst kind of interruption. 2 seconds. 2 fucking seconds. Sorry about that. Should have done that at the previous break. I really should have. But here I am again with my editor, my little windows, and a whole bunch of confusion as to exactly what I'm doing. Because, let's see, how do we want to do this? I don't quite know. I mean, we can do it as cheap as possible, but then I'm going to have to be recompiling it every time we run it, and that's just unnecessary when I can get the machine to do it for me. Because Is this the one? No, no. History. Let me pop open my history and see if I've got it anywhere visible. Show all history. Right, I was using the Mithril Starter Kit's web pack configuration, which is not that bad. Here we go. So, I do need a couple other things. Yarn, add, dev, HTML, web pack, plugin. We're only going to put in what we need right now, and what we need is very simple. Here, we're going to start by going into source. Wait, yeah, source, new file, index.html, doc type, HTML, HTML lang equals n, head, meta char set equals UTF-8. Unfortunately, there is a lot of boilerplate in everything I'm programming these days. Viewport content equals God damn it, I always forget the viewport line. Width equals device width, initial scale equals 1.0. We can fix that later. Oh wait, 3JS has a slightly different one. I already closed it. God damn it. I keep closing shit. Yeah, I can tell you right now, I probably don't understand much of the specifics either. I know what I want and I know how to accomplish it. I just have to get myself there without interrupting myself with something I think is cool. That's a big problem with what I'm doing right now, is I'm thinking, oh, you know what would be cool? Using, you know, web components to set up, to handle wrapping the different elements. You know what would be cool? Using this and using that. And my fucking microphone, or my pop filter is falling off, and I'm trying to get it to not fall off. And I don't need to be doing any of the cool shit, I just need to be doing the shit that's necessary. Save that. New folder. JavaScript. Yeah, okay, yeah. We have that, and new file, index.js. Now, come back up to here, and we need to const resolve equals require path, const webpack equals require webpack, const HTML webpack plugin equals require HTML webpack plugin. Module.exports equals, now I've got a better idea of what I'm doing this time around, thankfully. Context equals... Oh no. Context... Source... Oh, no. Resolve... dir name... Source... Entry... We are just gonna go with index.js. So index.js. Oh wait, it's in JS. Outputs. Path. Resolve. Dir name. Dists. File name is going to be CritFailure.js. And now our module system rules. Oh, no, got that backwards. Test for JS loader is going to be the Babel loader. Options. Interpolate is true. And do we have any other loaders we need? We need an HTML loader. Tests. HTML loader, HTML loader. Speaking of which, I need to install that while we're doing this. Yarn add dev HTML loader. Oh shit, no, not you. Options. It's not compress, it's, Babel Webpack, what was it? I literally just typed this. I think it's compress. Babel Webpack 500K. No. KB. The warning, yeah, 500 kilobytes, which you can fix by adding the option of compact. That's what it is. I'm an idiot. Compact. False. Your options are interpolate true. And then we need our CSS compiler as well. Or wait, no, that's later. We're not going to be doing any images, we are going to be doing CSS, and we are going to be doing... You know what, honestly, I can just steal this again. Why waste the energy when I can just steal it from someone else again? Webpack.common.js, copy, insert, paste, escape, shift V, GG, equals. Now, I don't like your comma lists. I don't like your style. I'm gonna have to change that shit. We don't need you. We definitely need y'all, but we... No, you know what? Undo, 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 undo. Shit. I just deleted all my fucking work again. Whatever, whatever, whatever. Control. Alright, so... yeah, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna skip out on the dev server entirely. We're just going to be compiling our JavaScript files. And that is literally all we need for this, and we're just gonna rename you to webpack.config.js. Now, what is your problem? Control-Shift-M. Expected a semicolon somewhere. Why? Where did you expect a semicolon? And why would you want one? Okay, it's expecting a semicolon somewhere, and it is being dumb. For reasons... oh, no, doesn't need a comma. That's correct, that's correct, that's correct. Expected... colon expected. Where? You have a colon, you have a colon. Where did I miss a colon? I missed a colon somewhere. Yes, I did, J-Will series, and it's only getting worse at this point. Somewhere there's a colon missing, and I don't know where. It actually really frustrates me. I was talking with someone last night, a friend of mine, about the subject of men's rights across the world right now, and it's getting atrocious. The EU is making things worse. One thing about men's rights that I noticed recently was that options compact false. Yeah, that's all correct. Colon expected, but why? Where is the colon expected? God, these tiny little fiddly fucking errors. Well, there's one way we can do this to figure out what's wrong. I can just run Webpack. npx Webpack. Unexpected unexpected. Oh, that's why. That shouldn't even be there. Save. Dists. For the time being, this is going to be dist.js. And, huh. Yeah, that'll be fine. that'll be fine. Let's pop open our package.json and come up here. Scripts. Brr. Don't be a bastard. Build. Copy. Source index. Source index. Crap. Okay. Build. Assets. Copy source. Yeah. Yarn add dev copy files. Files, source index.h u1 source index.html into dist. Build CSS. Node Sass. We don't have Node Sass installed either. Node Sass. Very basic usage is what? On the command line. Command line usage, please. Nope. Okay. I bet I can find it in one of those files I was digging through. Mythro starter kit. That's source maps. And this is all gonna be a fucking mess. I apologize. Node Sass. Source CSS. O. Dist. CSS. And then build JS Webpack. Webpack progress. Okay. Oh, no. You know what I just did? The file has been changed. Close. Don't save, because I'm the dumb. See, Webpack is proving to be... The tools are proving to be more irritating than the actual development of this thing, and that's part of my problem right now. And yes, I am the dumb. Alright. So if we need to do... I mean, if we just need the absolute basics... We're not even using the HTML Webpack plugin. Scripts. Build assets. Copy files. U1. Source index.html. Dist. Build CSS. Node Sass. Source SCSS. O. Dist CSS. And I like my trailing slashes. Build JS. Node, oh, excuse me, Webpack progress. And finally, builds is going to be run s build assets, build CSS, colons. And a comma is needed there. Yarn add dev node or npm run all. And yeah, we are going to eventually hit the thing. Good lord, YouTube, let people say rape and ugly in my chat for fuck's sake. Still haven't figured out why YouTube wants to censor shit, even when I've disabled all of that goddamn shit. Come on, you little installation. Now, here's the idea. We want to import star as 3 from 3. And we want to set up a very, very simple environment for it. Oh shit, now I remember why I needed the fucking... Now I remember it. Okay, now I'm remembering. Alright. See, my brain gets really fucking cluttered. And that is part of my problem. So, let me reopen my references, because I just accidentally closed them. But now I'm remembering why I wanted to use these additional libraries. React 3JS boilerplate. Okay, let's see if this does it. This looks a lot cleaner and simpler. Yes, it does. Alright, so we are going to delete this line. Okay, I can move this to here. GSX. Oh shit! I just exclude node modules. That'll save me a bunch of fucking problems. Save DevTool inline source map, comma save. Super fucking simple basics. Might as well fix this up too. Sets env. Oh, I still need to add something else. Yarn add dev. Is that dev? That's not, I don't think that's a dev package. No, it's not. Oh, yes it is. Babel preset reacts. Hurry up, I need to edit your file. Actually, I don't actually completely need to. And I do already have that. Okay, so I do need to edit my file. That's okay, we'll get this all sorted out as you watch me just fuck around and confuse myself. Okay. Source.js. I know Swedish people are only 23% of rapists in Sweden. I didn't know. I thought it was lower than that. I don't remember the exact statistic off the top of my head, J-Will series, but yeah, I knew it was something remarkably low. That there was something along the lines of a 70 to 80% increase in rapes over the last 4 years, entirely attributed to immigrants. And this is one of those things that the Swedish media has been hiding rather crudely, if I might say so myself. Alright, so yes. Run as build and wait a second, I shouldn't have to do that because it's already using the same configuration file. Success and okay. Expected a comma here. Save, and you, I need to add dev server, content base, resolve, dir name, dist, save, and of course a comma. No, comma, thank you. And you are looking about correct. Make dir source CSS, touch source, oh, no, move source CSS, source SCSS. Touch source SCSS, CritFailure.scss. I feel bad because I am so out of practice that I keep making fucking beginner's mistakes, stupid mistakes. And I feel, I really wish I was, you know, more up to speed. I need to practice more. This is one of the reasons I'm doing these streams, is to encourage myself to practice more. Now, if I yarn starts, oh, yarn add dev node sass. Now the reason I was using React is because oh shit, I forgot. Keep forgetting to add things that I need. I keep forgetting to add dependencies that I need. I find that really funny, Aki, considering ethnic stats were something that, especially in the United States, were added in the 60s in order to do, in order to give more detailed understanding of who's suffering where. But now it's proving to seem racist. So countries that have done ethnic stats have decided to stop doing them, which interferes with their ability to do statistics on specific demographics. It's fucking hilarious. Alright. That seems unnecessary at the moment. Okie dokie, awesome, thank you. Let's try that again. Oh, I didn't do the open. I forgot to do the open. Alright, that does in fact work, except there's nothing to show, so I'm not going to show it off just yet. Now I need to yarn add react DOM, and that's going to be a... Oh, you know what, I forgot, it's not going to add it. It better add it directly to that. You'll get it, don't you worry. Sorry, it's bugging the fuck up. I don't know, I'm just a little bit anxious, a little bit weird. But every day that I do these streams, and I hope to be doing them at least every other day, I will be getting better at this, I will be getting practice that I absolutely need. And I will stop making stupid mistakes. I did not know that, J-Will. Interesting. That is fucked up. Male citizens aren't legally allowed to extend their citizenship to their own children if they were born overseas without the legal consent of the mother in France, the UK, Germany, Sweden, and Italy. That is a fine detail that goes overlooked because let's face it, most men's rights activists are in the US, UK, and Australia. It's really frustrating. Lazy Gamer in the chat asks what kind of game I'm making. I'm technically making an environment for tabletop gaming. Unfortunately, I have been mostly fucking around today, trying to get my feet back under me because it's been a very long time since I've actually done scaled project developments. And I really need to get some practice under my feet, so I'm just hanging out with people while I do so. I really hate Roll20, Roll20.net, so I want to show them up with a mixture of open source code and crowdsourcing when I get to that point. Crowdsourcing things like elements, graphical elements, and character sheets, that kind of shit. Good lord, I'm hungry. Given that this was a complete fucking shit show of a stream so far, I'm probably only gonna go for another 30 minutes and then get myself something to eat because I'm quite hungry. And then I'll probably come back tomorrow, depending on what's in the news, because it depends. I might also spend tonight doing. I might spend tonight working on that video people were. Someone requested it of me. I think it was Jay Will who requested a video in which I go into detail about Pizzagate. If it wasn't, I apologize if I made that mistake, if I mistook your name. But yeah, I will have to pull together some really good research on that, because I don't want to just fuck around in doing a video about that. Besides, there's still new evidence coming out, especially with the latest email leaks. There's some pretty fucked up shit in the latest Hillary Clinton emails that were leaked on WikiLeaks, and those deserve their own video as well. But I'm definitely to come back tomorrow and do another stream. Just as long, if not longer, and hopefully with a little bit more structure and organization, so I stop making a fool of myself and showing off just how rusty I am at programming. Now, I believe I have my setup completely configured, which means I can jump back into here. Pull up my documentation. Import React from React. Import React DOM from React DOM. Do I need to import anything else right now? I don't think so. This is just the entry point, so let's let app equal react dom dot render. Well, I don't have an app yet, so let's create an app. JS, new folder, components, and then I'll rename. Lowercase, please. New file, app.jsx. Oh, let's capitalize that one. App.jsx. And start structuring our basic structure. Import React from React. Import React DOM from React DOM. Class app extends react.components. Constructor properties. Super props to pass it up to the React component system. And this dot state equals title. I guess I don't really need a state object just yet. What I need is, no, what I need is, this is just our wrapper, so we're gonna do that, and render, return, good lord, how cheap can you be? Okay, so we're not going to return that just yet. We're not rendering that yet either, because we need to also add in the other components. New file. Or, yes, scene. Yeah, let's call it the scene. JSX. Import React from React. Import React DOM from React DOM. Import 3 from 3. Class. I'm not exporting these. I'm an idiot. Okay. Export default class app extends React components. Export default class scene extends React components. Constructor props. Super props. This dot scene equals 3 new. No, I need to set the render up first. Documentation. This dot scene equals new 3 dot scene. Scene. This dot renderer equals. Oh, well, I guess I need the camera first. Camera equals new 3 dot perspective. Camera 75. A field of view of 75. A aspect ratio of window dot inner height divided by inner width divided by window dot inner height. A near distance of 0.1 and a far distance of 1000. This dot renderer equals new 3 dot WebGL renderer. There was something I wanted to set in here, but I guess I can wait and find that later. Renderer dot set size. Oh. This dot renderer dot set size. Window dot inner width. Window dot inner height. Yeah, okay, now how did I inject that before? Because yeah, we need to add elements to it, but we don't want to add elements just yet. Although I guess we can just add elements while we're fucking around. Examples, there is a, grid helper. No. Helpers. View source. Right, okay, so this dot grid equals new 3 dot grid helper. Size 100, grid spacing 5, color 0x0000. What? No. Documentation, please. Give me back to the documentation. Grid helper. size divisions, color center line, color grid. Well, I guess we don't need those. Examples, helpers. Oh, I've already got that source open. Right. This dot grid dot position dot x equals negative 100. This dot grid dot position dot y equals negative 100. This dot scene dot add this dot grid. And we don't need to... Oh, we need light. We need a light. Go back to the default documentation. Oh, I guess we don't actually need a light. Don't absolutely need one. How did I do that before? And why did I delete it so I couldn't read it for reference? React, render DOM elements. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Ah, right. Component did mount. So somewhere around here I actually did do that. No, that wasn't the one, this is the one. This had the code in it that I wanted, right? No, damn it, that was what I wanted. Here it is, right. So... all this actually needs to get moved. Yes, it is Windows Subsystem for Linux. Emil Kraloff. Mostly because I don't want to have to... I like game streaming, and I like game streaming in Windows, so I don't want to have to fuck around dual booting this machine entirely for the purpose of streaming programming. Cuts. Okay. What the fuck you? No. This dot start equals this dot start dot bind this. This dot stop equals this dot stop dot bind this. Animate equals this dot animate dot bind this. Now we move on to component did mount. Const width equals this dot mount client heights. Duh. I saw it, don't worry. Const height equals this dot mount dot client height. This dot scene. Camera renderer grid. Added the grid. We set the renderer size, but we need to change that to this dot width, this dot height. I do believe that's everything, except for this dot mount. I didn't set this dot mount, did I? Oh no, it's automatic. This dot mount dot append child. This dot render DOM elements. Alright, so this is code you guys might remember from yesterday if you were here. If you remember code, component did unmount. It really does beat the pants off Sigwin. This dot stop. This dot mount dot remove child render dot DOM elements. Alright, so those are those. I feel like I'm missing something with regards to the grid, but we'll deal with that later. Because I am pretty much rounding out. I need to go out and get something to eat. Start. If not this dot frame ID. Frame ID equals request animation frame. This dot animates. Stop. Cancel animation frame. This dot frame ID. And animates. This dot grid dot rotation dot x. I think it's just rotation dot y plus equals 0.01. This dot render scene. No. This dot renderer dot render. This dot scene. This dot camera. And this dot frame ID equals request animation frame. This dot animates again. Damn it. And finally, render. Return div style equals. Actually, we don't need this, do we? Do we? I had to fuck around with this too much. No, I know how we'll do it. We will go into index.html and remove div id equals roots. Save. Scene dot. Oh, wait, no. Undo that. Undo. Save. Div style equals. I guess we don't need a style tag. Oh, I guess we do. Div ID equals GFX canvas. Well, just GFX. Ref equals mount. Oh, wait, no. Single brackets. Mount. This dot mount equals mount. And slash close. This allows me to drop that in directly. I've always see I'm as you can see, I'm using the Ubuntu one because they don't have a they don't have an Arch Linux one available yet, which makes me very sad. Give me my Arch Linux in Windows and I will be a happy, happy camper. I'm only going to be live for about 10 more minutes, Kaho-chan, and then I need to go out and get something to eat. And probably take a nap, honestly. I'm quite exhausted. Now, there is our scene. We can import the scene from here now. Import scene from scene. Can I do it like this is the question. It is the question in... So, how can I want to link app to the roots. Fuck it. Render. Return. Right? Return scene. That should work, logically, which means I can now come over here and... God, this is probably not going to work. Damn it. The reason I'm making the scene is because I'm also going to make an element, or rather a React component to serve as the sidebar, which is going to display the chat and a drop-down simplified character sheets. And I want that to overlay the current scene. However, we're not going to finish that by 3 p.m. Let's see. Well, I could technically just skip on rendering app for now. Import scene from components scene. Let app equal React DOM dot render. I believe that's what I'm looking for, right? Oh, wait, I already had it open. Main. React DOM.render scene. Document.get element by ID. Roots. Right, okay, that's why I was doing that. So, we're gonna change that up to app. App. Change word app. Is it app? Yes. Save. Semicolon. Now, does it blend? Will it blend is the question I have. Yarn starts. You say aw, Kaho, but I'm very hungry. Module not found, cannot resolve. Liar! You are such a liar! Do I need to change that to... Oh. JSX. Save. Can't resolve scene, which means this needs to be JSX. Haha! Built! And now we should have a localhost. Or wait, no, it's not. Where is it running out of? It's running at localhost 8080. Localhost 8080, and we have no draw. View page source. No. Spect elements. Root is not... It's not mounting my scene. God damn it. Well, let's see if we've got any errors. No errors. So the problem exists between... Oh, well, it would help if it wasn't height 0. But I'm gonna have to fix that tomorrow, guys. It has just been way too long. I will eat you, Kaho. I will eat you all night long, but after I eat a burger. This has been absolutely wonderful. It has helped me sort out my thoughts on why I'm doing certain things a certain way, how I'm doing certain things. And I'm glad it was enjoyable for y'all, because I feel like I've made less than zero progress. Hopefully tomorrow we will actually have something of serious value. But for now, I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful evening and night. And I hope you all have a wonderful time with whatever you go and do. And as always, bonsoir.